Hello and welcome to another edition of Love Tarot by me, Lady Lara. Now, for today, I was thinking I would do a reading for those of you who are wondering about how your guy feels about you. Okay. So I thought it would be fun for us to do a pick a card. I know I enjoy doing pick a card when other people are reading for me. And I love a lot of the other readers on YouTube, and I watched my favorites regularly, and I also try to keep up with, what the new trends are. So anyway, so I want to do a pick a card for how he's thinking about you. So for this, I am going to divide it into three. Like this. So just using the same deck, dividing it into three. So this is number one, this is number two, and this is number three. And of course, I'll be doing a variety of, or using a variety of decks to give clarification about what he's feeling. Okay, so we're going to use deck number one first. So this is deck number one. So we're going to tune into this. So what is he feeling here? How is he what is he thinking about you? How is he feeling about you? Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see what situation's coming up. Okay, let's see. Now, wow, what an interesting lot of cards we've got. Okay. So we have, so this would be the past, what's happened in the past. This is what he is feeling right now. Some very interesting cards. So it could be that you were in a separation, or he was taking a break, it moved away. Even if he hadn't, gone silent on you, it would feel like your relationship, or in your relationship, he had, in a way, pulled away, from really being in your space. He wasn't really communicating very much. The communication was a little bit unclear. He's gone through a period of, trying to figure things out, perhaps even wondering how he should be in the relationship with you, how he should even act towards you, and you would have felt that he is, like 1 minute, he's being warm and tender, and, he's coming by, and, he's communicating, and, he seems like he's making an effort, and at other times it feels like, you're not on the same page. There are other things that are coming into play that he's not really putting his attention on you, and there's been a lot of different things sort of going on with him. And perhaps if there was even talk, or maybe you felt that maybe even a breakup could have been imminent. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from the first row of cards here. Okay, which is more of what's been in the past, about 2 weeks or more, coming into the present energies. And so you may be feeling very unsettled about the way he's been behaving because of, of all of these factors. But what it feels like now is he's probably getting into a more emotionally stable time. He's starting to get a handle on how he feels for you. And he's feeling, far more attracted to you. Perhaps you have, yourself had time to consider what your relationship is about. Maybe you have maybe pulled back too. And maybe you've been working on yourself. So I feel that you have been working on yourself, that wherever you may have felt more needy or more demanding of his time, perhaps you've also pulled away and you've stayed in your space. You've gone into very much a goddess space. So this would be the Queen of Wands, and she feels very goddessy. She feels very much in her power. And so it feels like you know what you want. You're in a better space, and you're not willing to take less than what you want. Okay, so but there still seems to be this Two of Swords that's giving me a little bit of trouble, because I'm wondering now, okay, he's in a good space now. What's been going on? So what it feels like, okay, let me just take a card for clarification. Let's see what area this is coming out in. Why is this coming out now? And things seem to be all hunky-dory. Why are the Two of Swords coming out? Okay, so we're just gonna ask for clarification card from the beautiful deck, the Gaia Oracle, which I love. Very, very beautiful deck. So let's see what's going on. Okay. Right. So while he has been feeling more connected to you or more attracted to you, I think there are issues of commitment that are coming up. He's wondering whether commitment is really the next step, or how committed he wants to be with you. And I think here, so the next card that's come out is Purification and then Attachment. So that's in alignment with what I felt when I saw that card. So Purification here, so we're talking about emotional cleansing. Okay, so it's about water. It's about, I'm sensing it's more about you. Look at the feminine figure here. So it's more you that still needs to be very clear about what you want in this relationship. So whilst he is sensing your goddess energy and he's being very attracted by it, but at the same time, he is not exactly certain if if you feel the same way. There may be some trust issues. Okay, he may be worried that while you seem, in your goddess energy, is wondering whether there may have been other people involved or another man involved in your space. And whilst what I'm picking up is it could be another man in your space. It could be a love interest, but I'm also picking up the energy of maybe an older man who could be influencing your decisions. Maybe even a father figure, or maybe even your dad, who could be saying, you know what, I don't know if this guy is good enough for you, and could be influencing how you feel and think about him. And maybe you're feeling a little bit uncertain as well. And so he's picking up on this energy, and now he has this, this sort of feeling that he doesn't quite know. He doesn't quite know, how this is going to go right now. On the one hand, he is thinking about committing to you, but with these other energies around you, he's feeling a bit uncertain. And he would need to have, a greater degree of trust as far as you're concerned before he can give you the commitment that you want. And he wants too, ultimately. But what I'm seeing now with the Magician card is it's not insurmountable. But you need to make up your mind. You need to be very clear about what you want as well from this man. If it is a commitment, then you must be willing to also, give him that assurance about how you feel and about the position of maybe these other people in your life that could be influencing you. And if you are in a situation where there is another man in your life, then you need to be very clear that it could be decision time as far as this relationship is concerned. So you may need to tell the other guy to go bye-bye if he's not a serious contender for your emotions. Okay, and I'm going to take one more card now, just to be absolutely certain about the last two cards. So let me just take out another card. Let's see where we are with that. So clarification for here. But there you go. There you go. So it is another guy. For some of you at least, there could be another guy around you that is causing this guy to feel very uncertain about your feelings. So yeah, you're gonna need to make up your mind about that. And if you are very clear that this is the guy that you are interested in, then really, once you make a decision, the Magician card is going to come into play very quickly. You're going to find your relationship warm up, heat up, and things start to get very, very nice and cozy, and things start to really move forward for you. Okay, so this is for deck, or rather, part of the deck that is number 1. Okay, so let's take a look at deck number 2. Okay. So wherever you are that, in the world, I hope you're having a superb day. We're going to take a look at deck number 2. Right, so let's see what the energies are here. Right. Okay. So if you pick deck number 2, these are some of the cards that are coming up. Wow. Wowee. Wowee. Okay. Ooh. Wow. So much stuff. Oh, and this is a very, very important relationship for those of you who have picked deck number 2. So this guy, what it feels like is that he is very much a soulmate. You feel very connected to him. And you may have been in each other's lives for longer than, maybe even 6 months. And you're feeling very, very sort of, strongly towards him. And what it feels like is that in the beginning, or maybe earlier, maybe even around 2 weeks ago, there may have been some attempts by you to tell him how you feel, but he wasn't ready to hear it. And so we have the 4 of Cups, where he's sitting under the tree. You're telling how you feel, but it's not that he didn't feel the same way towards you. It was just said to him in the wrong moment. That's what I'm getting. It doesn't feel like he doesn't have those feelings for you, or some measure of those feelings for you. What it does feel like is that he he doesn't quite have the same, it was that moment where he felt very uncertain about what was going on. And I must apologize for all these sounds that are interrupting, but hopefully you can still hear me. And hopefully these will fix their car really quick. Now, the next card that comes out from that situation that happened, with you telling him how you feel, was it could also be the reason that you sort of spilled the beans and told him about how you feel is because one of you, maybe him, maybe you, I've got a job offer in another place. You could be moving cities, you could be moving countries, or to even a different part of town. And so you felt that before you, or one or the other of you had to move, you wanted to solidify things. And so, so you made your confession, so to speak. So what that has led to was what it feels like is it almost forced a choice. It feels like it almost forced a situation where you or he had to make a decision. But this is the thing, it doesn't actually feel like you needed to, make this sort of, I wouldn't say an ultimatum, but this sort of energy where you have to choose at this point in time. Um, but I think there was some uncertainty about where it was going to lead, and so you felt that you needed to push this through, and you needed to sort of say it, wait for him to come up with, does he love you, does he not love you? So that's going to help you make the decision moving forward for your life. And that actually caused a lot of issues between the two of you. And what I'm getting here is that with the Temperance card, you're actually getting a lot of guidance from your angels. And even if what he said wasn't what you wanted to hear, it's not over. Okay, it's not been over, and it's just, he's just going to take some time to work out his feelings. He's just going to have to weigh things out between the two of you. And of course, it came as a shock to him because he wasn't ready to hear the words from you. And that was part of the reason or the problem. But things are going to look up. But if you just need to, take a moment, just sort of wait out this period while he, gets more settled and sort of really is willing to look at how he feels about you. So it's, so as I said earlier, it wasn't so much about what you said, it was the timing about what you said that sort of caught him off guard and everything. Okay. Yep. So definitely. So there is movement. Okay. So there is movement. So there is, perhaps now, it's almost feeling like maybe you haven't been in touch, and there's almost like a forced silence between the two of you, maybe because of all the unresolved feelings that came out during this sort of period where these confessions were made and he wasn't ready and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And he's feeling at the present moment, he's still not, while we're looking at the trend of how he's going to be making his decisions and so on. But what it feels like here is each time that you interact with him, when you're not being in your goddess energy, when you're not being very allowing, because I think you're very upset with what happened, he feels forced to tell you, or and he's not ready yet. He's just not ready to do it. He will be ready, but he's just not ready to do it yet. And every time you force an interaction with him, it almost feels like he's he feels that, oh, I'm not ready now. Why are you making me do this? I'm just not ready right now to tell you how I feel. I need to process. I still need time to process. Okay. So it's very gently, very softly, and it's a lot of swords, as you can see, in the bottom half, but the present energy. So he's very much thinking things through, but he is. If you give him a little time, if you sort of step back a little bit and not try to force the issue at the minute, you're going to find that he will make a decision. Okay, he is going to become clearer in his mind. And even though we saw a lot of cups in the first part, well, we saw the Temperance, which has cups, and then we saw the Four of Cups, which is the first card. But here it's really about the sword. So he really needs to make up his mind, because he is a very logical person. And when, yes, we want the guys to be in touch with their feelings, but ultimately for this guy, it's got to make sense to him. Okay, this relationship has to make sense to him before he can give you the sort of answer that you want. And he is getting there. He really is. But you do need to give him a little bit of space to come to that. Okay? So it may have felt just recently, it may have felt that he is moving away from you. That you know he does need his space, but that's okay. You know, that's all right. You know, you need to honor his cave time right now so that he can come up with a decision and what it feels like here. So this would be the Four of Wands, which is a very, very positive card. So um, and what it feels like here, I mean, some people even call it the marriage card. And what it feels like here is, um, for some of you, he may even pop the question, okay? But after this period of sort of separation, or of him not being very clear, because he's clear in his mind, once he's made up his mind, he is likely to come back and wanting to elevate the relationship with some level of commitment. So it could be, even talking about moving across town to be together, or moving countries, or solidifying it, maybe even with an engagement, maybe but some sort of commitment, or at least a step up in the relationship, which is really what you wanted, which is really what you were trying to force, if I may say that, when you told him that you loved him, or that you cared about him, or you talked about the future, and he just wasn't ready. So that will happen, but you do need to give him his space, okay? And let him just make up his mind, and he will, all right? So okay, so that's what we've got for our second part. So our second deck, or second set of cards from our tarot. So now we're going to look at, I know I call them decks. They're not really, separate decks. We're all from the same deck of cards. But okay, let's see what comes in now. What's going on with this sort of third deck, third guy, as it were, for those of you who have chosen deck number 3. Okay, let's see what's going on for you. For some reason, I feel drawn to taking an angel card first. Okay, let's see what they have to say. What can this be about? I think they're wanting to lend their energies for some reason. So let's see why the angels want to come in. Oh wow, look at this. So this is from my Archangel deck. Okay, and so it's Archangel Zadkiel. And Archangel Zadkiel is asking you to have compassion for this guy. Okay? So he says, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So have you been hard on yourself, or have you been hard on him? Have you been looking at things from a particular point of view, which, where you have been, in a space where you've been a bit maybe hard. All right, so let's see what the cards are telling. Right, so cool. You see, let's see what's going on. Oh, very, very interesting. Aha. Alrighty. Got a lot of aces coming up at the bottom. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So, okay, this is the past falling away. So the first card is Queen of Swords. Did you make your decision about something? Did you make a decision that sort of changed? I know we don't talk about how he feels, but what I'm sensing more, it's about your decision, about how you felt about the relationship. And that's caused a transformation to take place, or a change in your relationship. And it could have been that there have been a lot of what I'm getting is uneasiness around this, and I'm getting that you made a decision, sort of like a snap decision, and things changed between you very quickly. Maybe you felt very, I wouldn't say betrayed, but I would say you felt very uncertain about your relationship. And so you made a decision, almost a snap decision, that changed things between you. And so there's been a fight. And it feels like he's walked away. Okay. So the Five of Swords makes me think that he's walked away. He's walked away hurt, and it feels like he wants to come back. It feels that he even may have made some gesture, or he's thinking of making a gesture towards you, taking some action, but he doesn't even, at this point, he doesn't even know how, because of what took place. And he doesn't know how to tell you or explain things to you. To me, it seems like it's somebody who is not very vocal, who has difficulty in expressing himself. And so the one busy expressing themselves in the relationship is you. So what this means is that he, it almost feels like, before he can make up his sentences or what he needs to say, it feels like there has almost been like a barrage of words from you, maybe accusations, but it's because you've been feeling very uncertain, and you've been having major trust issues, and it sort of came out in a way that wasn't the most pleasant. Okay, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, but hopefully you've got some awareness from this situation. Okay, so that's what I just want to help you with, just bring you some awareness in the situation. And don't forget, the first card that came out from the angel deck was compassion. So Archangel Zadkiel is saying, don't beat yourself up, but recognize that maybe you are not being your best self, and forgive yourself, but at the same time also give him a chance. That's what I'm feeling. Give him a chance. And it feels like, once he has himself, once he feels better about things, so this is the World card, right? So once he feels he's got things under control again, where he feels better about the situation, he is going to come back. So there are lots of new beginnings, right? Okay, so we've also got the Ace of Cups that says that, he will want to make things up to you, or in a sense that he'll want to come back. He's had time to think about things as well, and it feels like you're going to work things out. You will work things out, but you've got to first you've got to be open to him. Okay, be compassionate to him. I don't think he's ready to talk to you right this minute, okay, because of the stuff that has gone on. Because I think that, yes, there could have been a situation that, that arose that, sent you into this sort of whirlwind of emotions. But what it feels like is, okay, it could be that, he could have given a lift to his colleague, female colleague, or he could have, done something with a female, maybe even met up with a colleague or a friend or an ex-girlfriend that sent you into the spiral. But it's not serious, okay? It's not serious. So please bear that in mind. Ooh, let's play with beautiful romance angel cards. Okay, let's see what additional messages they have for you. Romance angels are always Hold on. So let's see what they have to say. Oh, girls. This guy, give him a chance, okay? Because even if he's not exactly ticking all the boxes in a variety of ways, or not variety, in some ways, not variety, it's a variety of ways. Walk away. But in some ways, give him a chance because he really is your true love. And I think that's why as well, you felt betrayed. It wasn't a betrayal situation, but you just felt, it seems like your feelings are all up, you sort of almost out of control, okay? Because you're feeling the strength of this connection. You have, you feel so much for him, and you're like, if he's going to behave this way, I am, he has to make a choice, or I'm going to walk away, or I'm just going to tell him, this isn't going to work out for me. And so you told him that, and but you didn't mean it. You didn't mean that at all. That's what I'm getting. You didn't mean that. And maybe in this period, while he sets himself, sort of calms down, I think you need to go out. And enjoy the company of men a little, so that you become a bit more lighthearted about the situation, which you need at present, while he sorts himself out. Okay, just some lighthearted flirting. Okay, nothing too serious, or nothing serious at all, because this guy is your true love. He is your true love, girls. And what it feels like, it feels like this card is coming out for the two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. It's almost like you need to get to know each other more deeply and better. All right? And so what this means is, you've got to give him a chance. It's being more lighthearted about the situation, because you've had a chance to, just go out with friends, groups of friends with the other guys, and chat and everything. Sort of soften your energies, okay? It'll soften how you feel about him. You won't be quite as upset and angry and all that, and that will help you get back together, because he's going to sense your lack of hostility or your lack of anger towards him, or that you've softened towards him. And he'll come back, and you'll have the opportunity to have some heart-to-heart talks, and but without accusations. Please, no accusations, just a lot of compassion, a lot of softness, a lot of sweetness, and you'll find that it's going to help you guys really work things out really, really well. Okay, so so that's that for, I think, for deck number 3. I'm not getting anything else right now. So I hope that I have answered your questions. I know it's not going to have answered the questions for every single one who has come to this reading, but I feel that it's going to be, it's going to answer the questions for some of you. So I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I promise you, I know it's a lot to say, but I promise you that I will be more diligent, and I will be putting up more readings over the weekends and in the days, over the weekend and in the days ahead. So I'm just sending you lots and lots of love, especially from my crystals. I just want to show you my crystals. The Andaras down here, sending you all lots of love, especially for those of you who are going through a hard time. So we've got the Lion's hearts out in full force. So they just want to give you strength and courage during this time. And so I'm going to wish you guys a lovely weekend, and lots of love from us here. Okay then, bye-bye.